Oh, shut up and sit down recommends. We look at 4 or 5 games every week on Shut Up and Sit Down. Imagine what that's like. A cavalcade of manuals and new ideas and mechanics repainted and repurposed. Every one of these boxes, someone's idea. This conveyor belt of stuff going along, and maybe one of them's okay. You end up developing a hard exterior like a sex worker or a turtle or an M&M. You know, you don't see tiny dragons anymore. You see Type 2 plastic. You don't see a designer's name. You see Billy board game with a dream. Tell you what though, once or twice a year, a game slips past my shell and makes me feel like I did the first time I slipped the cellophane off that first copy of Cosmic Encounter. 2 weeks ago, I played this. Chinatown. Brother, sister, take a seat. How you been? I've got something to sell you. Chinatown was first released in 1999 by designer Billy Board Game. And remember what we say about games staying in print? It means they've got a little bit of magic somewhere in this box. It is a game about developing businesses of New York's Chinatown in the 1960s, painting in the broad strokes of takeout joints, laundrettes, camera shops, that kind of thing. The manual's fine, if unintentionally hilarious. The immigrants, hard-working men and women, are arriving by the thousands to buy buildings, establish businesses, and fulfill the American dream. Goal: the player with the most money at the end wins. Bleak! Let's move on to the actual game. The game you're playing here is fantastically simple and uplifting. Look, you're going to get some lots for free, and then you're going to get some businesses for free, and then you can build those businesses for free, and then you can have some flowers and a laundrette and some seafood in the middle of this block, so people kind of have to, I don't know how they get there, they climb over stuff. But all this stuff is then going to start churning out money for free. Except if you look at these numbers here, that's the maximum size of that business. So the big money is in finishing this florist somehow with 2 more florist tiles and a connecting thing. Even bigger money is in finishing this 5-tile laundrette, which will just start spewing out money and clothes, just vomiting money and clothes. So this is kind of an area control game. Oh no! Is this the end for our hero? Is it gonna die getting beaten up by such glittering capitalist monster pieces that we love as Lords of Vegas, which makes buying up the strip as fun and as bitter as a gin and tonic? Or Power Grid, which all but electrifies your brain and lets you zap your friends to death with your own intelligence? Well, no. Plucky little Chinatown does something entirely different that lets it avoid just about all comparisons, because here's the thing. You're going to get your lots, and your friends are going to get their lots, and then you're all going to get some businesses, and Chinatown is going to end up looking something like this. And you're all going to get some businesses, and then this magic thing happens in the manual where it says the 3 little words that I love to hear from any game. In the next phase, here, anything goes. You see, Chinatown is just a game of negotiation. Negotiation, but not like the ones we've looked at before, like where you lie or you have to create a sense of teamwork. No, Chinatown is just about getting what you want, and I cannot believe how undersubscribed this genre is, because it's so fun. And it works immediately. Just the cogs just snap into place, and you and your friends will be at each other's throats. Because, very simply, the board is all primary colours. You can see what territory everyone has. You can see what tiles everyone has. You all have a pocket full of hot dollars, and none of you have what you want. You know, yeah, Green over there has that vomiting laundrette, but he probably doesn't have any more laundrette tiles. He doesn't have any more territory over there. That's just nickel and diming your way to success. No. So players will start swapping lots, you know? They'll start exchanging tiles. They'll start doing complicated stuff to do with exchanging 2 tiles for 2 lots and then a load of money, and just clawing their way through each other's goodwill towards success. And You know what? Maybe I'm making this sound too cutthroat. It's just funny. You had to have that factory.
No, it was a mistake. It's earning 50 every turn, which is cool. But the mistake here was you were going to give that up, man. These
Ian,
things, just
if you swap
do
this
it.
with me, you are no sadder, and I am much happier.
And that is actually one of the reasons I traded with you.
Tim, I really like you,
So you should do it.
but I think it's really funny to watch you struggle.
Here's the reason I love Chinatown so much, right? If you play Monopoly, for example, or in fact any of the conflict-averse games that come out of Germany, your only means of interacting with people usually is to block them, is to hurt them, is to steal from them. Chinatown is a game where the only time you ever interact with another player is when you can help each other. You know, it's a game of brokering deals, which means anytime you talk to a friend and come to a conclusion that you'll swap this lot for that lot, you both come away happier and kind of liking each other more. It's cozying up to a fireplace. It's a community that you're in here. And being, kind to people in early turns might genuinely create some kind of positive feeling and have players dealing with you later. You have to gauge the temperature of the room, which isn't to say you can't rob people if you're clever. Hi. Welcome to example A of why Chinatown is so great. You are red. You own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles of a 6-tile maximum factory. If you can get a 6th tile, you will have probably won the game as it spurts out a gajillion dollars every turn. You have $120,000 in pocket. Green owns this tile and purple owns this tile. You're going to try and get that tile. So here's what happens. You go to green. You say, Green, I'll be straight with you. I'm going to give you $120,000 for that tile. That's an exorbitant amount of money, but Green is clever. Green says to you, I know that if I sell you this, you'll win. So I want $250,000. Can you figure out a way to win this? So here's what happens. You go to purple. You say, Purple, I will give you $140,000, money you don't have. And Green goes, Purple, Purple, Purple. If you sell to him, we'll both lose the game. Purple goes, oh yeah, that makes sense. Are you locked up? Not quite, because there's this tile right here. You say to these two players, okay, you know what, next turn, if I get this tile, and there's a 1 in 3 chance that I'll be the one that gets it, you are both out $140,000 because both of these properties become worth nothing. And Purple goes, oh, that's a good point. And Green says, don't listen to him. So you go to Purple, you say, Purple, you know what? I'm going to give you $180,000, money that you don't have. And Purple goes, and Green is worried now because if Purple caves, this property isn't worth $250,000. It isn't worth $180,000. It is worth nothing. It is worth zero money to him. He's going to be out hundreds of thousands of dollars. So maybe Green comes in and says, I'll sell it to you for $160,000. Swing, about $140,000. Swing, 120,000. Green is down. Green sells to you for all the money you have. You take control of this tile, and you did it with far less money than you should have needed. Excellent job. God, I love this game. But tell you what, let's just be realistic for a second. So there's this cultural thing within board games where they're meant to be representative of greater human ability. You know, like if you win at chess, it's because you're smarter than the other guy, or if you win at Monopoly, it's because you're more cutthroat, or if you win at poker, it's because you're cooler. And all of that's bollocks. I mean, the world poker champion this year was this guy, and he wandered off stage without even giving an acceptance speech. And while the design of board games we look at are a little sharper, I don't know if they're any better for this. I mean, do you want to be the person who's best at running a fictional Japanese railway network? What does that say about you? Chinatown, though. Chinatown does mean something. I have a friend called Felix, and he is great, he's effervescent and loving. He also works in finance, and playing Chinatown with him was a sight to see. If he didn't have immediate obvious trades, he would organize tri-trades, right? Where I'll give you this, and he'll give that to me, and he'll give that to me. And when he started creeping into the lead, he began talking about game theory. He just said to the group, who wins in these situations when a group turns against the leader is whoever can convince the group to do that while still trading with the leader. And he just dropped that into our collective subconscious and let it fizz there like an Alka-Seltzer. Damien Hirst has a line about how art is anyone doing anything to the very best of human ability. And that's what it was, Chinatown let me look at Felix's art. That's great. It's such a selling point for a board game to really let humans bring those real life skills of their personality and their job to the table. And I know it's a good selling point because board games have used it for decades, Monopoly has always been sold on the find out who's the real estate baron in your family. It's a lie, but it's not in Chinatown, Chinatown is a honest to God test of operating within a community and squeaking the most out of it. Here's another thing I love about Chinatown. In a war game, and this is kind of a war game, but a real one, players end up backstabbing each other. All that talk, all that jabber is just nonsense, perhaps because it's encouraged by the theme, perhaps because you can clearly see who's winning on the board. But look at Chinatown. Let me give you another example, okay? Let's say that up here, in this block, you're green and you control these two lots. You're not doing much with them. Yellow is building a dim sum, and yellow comes to you, and you don't think he's in first because all money in Chinatown that players have is actually entirely secret. But you don't think he's doing that well, and he says, "Green, can I buy this?" And you don't really, the money he's offering isn't much. Maybe you just sell it to him. Maybe you're just a nice guy. Because maybe later on, if you are genuinely warm with that player and later on you need something, you want a loan or you desperately need that laundry tile that he's got, he'll just give it to you. Maybe that's fine, So, does Shut Up and Sit Down recommend Chinatown? Well, let's use the scientific method of counting on my fingers. 1, it's gorgeous looking. This is a lovely, quite svelte box with no air in it. That's great. 2, it's a totally unique game that's unlike to be anything else on your checklist. 3, it's fun. 4, if you met up with your friends to play board games, it's probably because you like them and you like talking to them. And this is a game that allows you to talk to your friends and incorporates that into the game. So that's a ton of fun. Oh yeah, and number 6 on my weird mutant finger that I don't show anybody. It's got a massive flaw that we haven't talked about yet. And that is that you have to be able to do maths on the fly. And some people are gonna be frankly allergic to that, and it means a lot of cool deals end up looking like this. Say, you wanna make a deal? I could make a deal. Straight up cool deal. Well, let's do it then. Let's make a deal. Then let's do it. You wanna do this deal? Straight up. You look like a man that I can be dealing with. Well, all right then. Let's do this deal. Let's do it. Okay. Hang on though, because I need to do the maths on that. Because if you're giving me like maybe 80,000, but then if you reduce that by the money I would have made selling to him, it's probably not worth it actually. If, however, you can navigate these numerical obstacles like a elegant show pony made of maths, I categorically recommend Chinatown for the simple reason that it makes a lot of these games we recommend, the reasons we recommend them seem so pale and trite, oh, it's fun, or it's a great puzzle. Chinatown is fun and it's a great puzzle, but it also leaves you with questions, You're going to be asking yourself things about your friends and yourself. How much do you care about first place versus second place? How much do you not want to be last? How much do you care about being nice versus just appearing nice? These are important questions that will utterly change how you play. And also, this theme, so often themes are just lovely set dressing for board games. The more I think about it, the more this is just superbly chosen because it's colourful. Yeah, there's imagery to draw on, but also Chinese districts in cities, those are enforced communities. These people can't go outside their extended family, and that's exactly what this board game, and to an extent a lot of board games, are. You and your friends are locked in together. You have to play nice to some degree, or do you? You can't go outside your group though. You can't go outside the table, and that's so perfect for a board game. There is real magic in this box, frankly, and that's not something we get to say often enough. It's a steal for £30. The real question is though, did I just sell you on something? Yet another board game that you're going to have to buy? Don't get mad. Forget it. It's Chinatown.